Erik Horne here with Brett Dawson after the Thunder's 102-95 loss to the Utah Jazz in Game 2. Series is tied at 1-1. Brett, Thunder blew a big chance tonight.
They really did. 19-0 run in the third quarter to go up by 10. If you'd told me at that point the game was over, I'd have believed you. It was a 10-point game, still a lot of time left. But a big moment at the end of that third quarter. Donovan Mitchell kind of gets going just a little bit, gets some stuff going to the basket, gets Utah back in it. They're only down 5 going into the fourth, I believe it was, and then they dominated the fourth quarter. Donovan Mitchell was great in that fourth, and Utah's defense was unbelievable. Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, Russell Westbrook combined to go 0 for 14 from the floor in that fourth quarter. That's not going to win any games.
No, big part of that is, Steven Adams doesn't barely even play in the fourth quarter. I mean, he gets back in with 4 fouls with about 2-something left to go, and he basically picks up a couple of fouls in a matter of minutes. And, it's a 2-point game when he fouls out, and then Utah is able to stretch the lead out from there. He'd really been playing really well in that fourth quarter. He got a good rhythm with Russell Westbrook. He scored 6 of his 9 points in the fourth quarter. By the way, he needs to get more touches. It's difficult against Utah's defense, but Steven Adams clearly needs to be an impact for the Thunder's offense. He could have helped them in that fourth quarter on both ends, and they missed him.
Yeah, they talked about this a couple of times this week, that you can't go away from Rudy Gobert. You can't just give up on the fact that just because Utah is a good defensive team and is so good around the rim, you can't just stop trying to score in there.
We saw that with Jeremy Grant.
Exactly. They were trying to do that. They had some success with it, needed to keep going with it. The Thunder took a lot of jump shots, and you're going to take a lot against Utah, but some of those tonight felt a little bit like giving up.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see a duplicate performance from the way that Paul George shot in the first game, but you expected a little bit more from him. He didn't have a great shooting night. Neither did Russell Westbrook or Carmelo Anthony, as you said. Thunder has to go back and regroup. Basically, they're going to Utah. They should be up 2-0, even though they didn't play particularly well tonight. Yeah. They still should be up 2-0 because they had that big 19-0 run, and it seemed like they had all the momentum on their side.
Yeah, and really they had kind of controlled Mitchell to that point. Mitchell only went 10 of 25. He's a really good player. He was spectacular down the stretch. Oddly, the Thunder had some success guarding him with Corey Brewer. It was when Paul George got on him that he really got going, and maybe he would have gotten going against anybody at that point, I don't know, but he really cooked against Paul George in that fourth quarter. Thunder just gave up a lot of opportunities. They missed a golden opportunity here. They control the boards a little better. They couldn't keep Derek Favors off the boards at all. If they control their early turnovers a little bit more, and if they just don't let Utah grab that momentum late third, early fourth after the run, they're going to win this game. They're going to kick themselves if they lose this series. This is one they should have had.
Second game in a row, we see the Thunder come out really flat.
Yeah.
First quarter was bad for the Thunder to start again. They get down 9-0 to start. 3 turnovers in their first, I think maybe like 4 or 5 possessions. The only shot they get off in that stretch is a Corey Brewer layup. That's probably not the guy you want shooting in that situation. But the transition points again. They're giving up too many points early in transition, being sloppy with the ball. They were sloppy with the ball in general tonight. They only had 13 turnovers, but they were sloppy, unforced errors, throwing passes too hard where you're 2 feet away from a guy. Paul George over-dribbling again. Russell Westbrook sloppy with the ball. Just a lot of stuff that the Thunder needs to clean up offensively to start games.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing about this idea of the playoff switch that we talked about and wrote about for our preview section. Here's what Billy Donovan said about that. You can fix some things, you can get more dialed in or whatever, but you're not going to change what you are. This is what they've been. They are a careless team with the ball. They do not value possessions the way that they should. That hasn't really changed in the playoffs.